Good evening. Welcome and thank you all for joining us for our community update. My name is Debbie Bookman and I am the board president for the Charles A. Melton Center. Would like to, I'm excited to be a part of this organization. Dangerous environments and situations await for many of our children and families, especially those in urban neighborhoods. The need for safe places is even greater. In 1918, Dr. Leslie Pickney Hill made that a reality for us here in Westchester. The Charles A. Melton Center continues bringing people together who inspire each other. Given our 103-year history, we stand as a testament to our long-term investment in our communities. Beyond the bricks and mortars, these buildings are transformed by the energy and passion of the people who visit, the staff, the volunteers, our parents, children, and youth. Okay, that was my scripted version. Now I'm just gonna be Debbie. Listen, I'm always really excited when I get on a Charles A. Melton Center event. I have truly come to love this center. And even though I am from Coatesville, Pennsylvania, originally from New York, I feel like I've come home. The Charles A. Melton Center has made me feel very welcome. And it just makes me, when I'm here, I just want to help. I just want to do so many things. And being a part of this board and working with the staff has been such a transformational part of my life since 2020 when I started here. I want to introduce our board of directors, most of which are on this call. We have Deb Seshwani, our vice president, Evan Whitmer, our treasurer, Mallory Perotti, our secretary, Glenn Frick, our fundraising committee chair, John Long, our governance committee chair, Daryl Zernell, our advisory committee chair, Dr. Corey Bell, Tamika Gallimore, Kelly Jers, Jen Johnson, Daryl McLean, Scott Mitchell, Larry Washington, Jean Newsom, and Alice Thomas. And I also want to give special recognition to our former board president, Lisa Dorsey. Lisa Dorsey was the president of the Melton Center from 2008 to 2020. That is a long time. And during that time, she did a lot of work here at the center. That is the part where we were. Lisa Dorsey, along with Ken Winston, Renee Washington, and the board members, brought the center back from a place of almost shutting the doors. They put a lot of work into it, and I'm grateful to be able to take the baton and continue the legacy that she has laid for this foundation. We also have our staff members, Ken Winston, our executive director, Jamie Atkins, our New Directions After School Program Director, Renee Washington, our facilities manager, Leslie Hudson, our communications manager, Jackie Shantz, our office manager, Antonio Cien Colon, our maintenance and facilities staff, Chevelle Thomas, our bookkeeper, and Wendy Morrow Beck, our finance assistant. For those of you that may have known the center before, it was really hard getting board members. Now we have board applications in the wing, people wanting to become a part of the center. We also were in a position where we only had Ken and Renee, but now as you saw and you heard, I just listed off a few more additions to the family. So we're growing, we're moving forward, and I'm grateful for that. So the center, I'm sorry. I actually missed two board members. We have that many. Tom Walsh and Mark Stevens. My apologies. So the center, as many other organizations, were shut down with COVID back in March of 2020. We were able to reopen in July of 2020, and the board and the staff have been committed to adhering to the CDC guidelines and the Department of Health guidelines. That includes making sure that there's hand washing stations in the bathrooms, running water, obviously, making sure that there's hand sanitizer throughout the facility. We do a check-in and we do a temperature log. As you know, the main goal of nonprofits such as the Charles A. Melton Center is to benefit the community that it serves and not for financial gain. However, in order to continue serving the community, donations are an essential source of revenue that is needed to fund these activities. I'm very proud to announce that we had a recent virtual fundraiser on Saturday, April 10th. And as a result of that fundraiser, we were blessed with donations in the amount of $18,709.31. In addition to that, we received $1,000 from our county commissioners towards playground equipment and $500 worth of gift cards from Limoncello's, giving us a grand total of $20,000 to $20,209.31. So that was a really, it was a scary thing to do, right? Going virtual for fundraising. And I'm sure a lot of other nonprofits, were very concerned. How are we going to continue keeping our doors open, making sure that staff is paid during this pandemic? And we were blessed, and we appreciate everyone that donated to that effort. There are many other ways that you can give to the Melton Center, and I will speak more about that towards the end of our event this evening. Okay, so moving on. Many of you have seen a lot of construction taking place in and around the Charles A. Melton Center grounds. I want to say Coatesville. Tonight, we are grateful to have Tracy Patches from the Church Housing Corporation to give us an update on the housing project. Tracy? Hang on one moment.
You're on mute, Tracy.
Can we unmute Tracy? Thank you.
I unmuted, and then as soon as somebody gives me control, I'll share my screen. In the meantime, again, my name is Tracy Patches. I work for the Church Housing Corp. And I am the Director of Development. I'm still trying to stall as somebody gives me access.
I'm sure Leslie is.
But
Let me see something.
you know what? That's okay. I can continue to talk as I try to get the
Okay.
screen. So the apartments that are being built, as Debbie mentioned, there's a lot of construction going on. Just for those people that don't know, Pinckney Hill Commons is going to be 2 buildings. There will be 10 townhomes and there will be 41 apartments. The 41 apartments will be 1, 2, 3, and 4 bedrooms. And then the townhomes will be, oh, here we go. All right. And the townhomes will be 3 and 4 bedroom units. Okay. Here's a picture of what the buildings will look like. Just highlight a little bit about the apartments. There is going to be a community room that will be available for people to use. There's also going to be washers and dryers on 2 different levels. There will be a supportive services office right there in that building. So if anybody has any questions, they need help filling out forms, need help contacting different agencies, the supportive services group will be able to help people. And then in the townhomes, all of the townhomes will have garages. The view that you see here is the front. This is what will be on Minor Street. The garages will be on the opposite side. All of the townhomes will have their own private entrance, like you see here, as well as washer and dryer hookups. So that's just a little bit of what the buildings will look like. Again, there are 1, 2, 3, and 4 bedroom apartments in this complex. But let me go on to what's happening with construction, because that's what you're seeing a lot of. Now, I do want to caution you to say that with construction, weather has a huge impact, materials have an impact. So this is a point in time of what is happening with the construction timeline. Right now, we are working on what's known as the underground lines. When we first started digging in December, we did have some soil issues, so that kind of set us back a little bit. What happens when underground lines are being, this part of the construction phase is, we are digging up and we are adding things like the underground pipes for electricity, the underground pipes for water, all those kind of things. In addition, what is happening is we are building the basis for the foundation, which means the walls and what these buildings are going to sit on. The apartment section of the construction started, probably about a month and a half ago, the foundation. The townhomes, the foundation has started this week. So you're starting to see some activity on another part of the property. The big part where people are really going to start seeing some movement, and this is my favorite part, is when we start doing the structural stuff. And that is when you will start to see walls being built. And there's going to be a ton of flurry that goes on. You're going to see plumbers in there running the lines to the units. You're going to see electricians in there running all of the wires for that. Then we're going to start getting into putting the roof on and the exterior. And then another one of my favorite parts of construction is in that fourth quarter, and that is the landscaping. And what you're going to see there, oops, there's people that want to get admitted. So I'm just hitting admit. Is that all right, Debbie? Okay, all right. So again, the fourth quarter is this landscaping, and that's when you're going to start seeing us planting, getting the grass ready, prettying up the area. So we're looking at that again, probably the beginning of the fourth quarter when that's going to happen. And then the big day comes where where we are complete with the construction. Right now, we are anticipating that the townhomes will be completed first, and then the apartments. Again, I do want to caution you that construction is an ebb and flow process. So these are very subject to change, and that's why I have this as a point in time. And really, that is all I wanted to cover in terms of the construction and what's going on with that. There is a sign up on the fence that if anybody has any questions, they can send an inquiry to us at this address right here, inquiries@chcliving.org. I'll answer whatever questions you have. But that's really it in terms of what's happening right now. And I will open it up for questions.
One question.
Yes.
In regards to the past problems of flooding
Mm-hmm.
on the property,
Mm-hmm.
What was done to ameliorate that problem in the future?
So we did have a plan in place that we were going to do. Once we started digging, we realized that there was some excess water. So we went back to the drawing board and we have a new plan. It has been reviewed with the township. It's being reviewed by the conservation department within the township. And so we have a more robust, what's known as stormwater management that we're going to put in place. So we've had engineers and geotechs out there probably at least every other day, helping to assess and making sure that we're putting something in place that's going to deal with this issue and make sure that it's set in place for future success.
Will this solve the problems that we've had in the past with water going into the center when there's heavy rains?
Yes, it should.
Okay.
Again, what we picked is something a lot more robust than what we thought we needed. I will have, yeah. So it should help a lot with all the drainage, and it should solve all the issues.
Thank you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Ramona Lang, and I live directly across the street from the construction, and I have structural damage from the inception of when ground broke, the equipment that had to move the earth and I work remote, so I was able to see firsthand and feel firsthand the damage that has been done to my house. Twice the engineers have been out, and they're due to come out for a third time on Monday. My concern is because the borough mandates whether a structure is safe or not, my concern is what is being done to the home, my home, and I'm only talking and I know there's others who have structural damage.
Mhm.
Are you aware of it?
I am, and what we did is we got some, what's known as vibration monitor machines. And we actually got 2 of those and put those on the site to monitor vibrations and make sure that it's not causing damage around the area. Mrs. Lang, I am aware of your situation, and I know that the engineers are out there and they're going to continue to monitor your property.
Okay, now my next question is, since the structural damage is obviously from the construction, what plans are in place to remediate the problem?
At this point, I can't say because we're just starting construction. Again, we're monitoring that and we're monitoring what's going on your property. And we're monitoring the vibrations to make sure that this doesn't impact other properties. So I would suggest, Mrs. Lang, that we have a conversation offline. At this point, again, I don't have an answer because we're just starting construction.
Okay, I have my neighbor who would like to make a statement too.
Okay.
Yes, I have damage done on my house from the construction.
Okay.
My name is Mary Graves. I live at 522 East Minor Street, directly across from the center of the building where they're building now.
Mm-hmm. Ms. Graves, if I can get you to send me some information, and I will have our engineers come out and look at the.
They came the first time. They're coming again the second time on Monday.
Oh, okay, great. Okay.
But I want to know, I have another question. I want to know, what are you going to do about the Goose Creek right there in the middle of the field? How are
The-
you going to build homes right there and the creek runs right through there?
I'm not familiar. Which creek are you talking about?
Goose Creek, right in the middle of the center field.
Oh, that's when I talked about the soil issues and the stormwater management, that's what we're working on right now.
So they don't have no idea or what?
Oh, no, we have a solution. It's got to go through everybody and make sure that we have the right solution and that it's going to work. Again, we have some of the best geotech engineers out there on a daily basis. We have the borough out there. We've all agreed on what the solution is going to be. Now we're just running it through all the different organizations and making sure that we're fine tuning it and it's the best solution that's out there.
Okay, I have another question. Are you meeting with the zoning board at the borough? When's your next meeting?
The zoning board?
Yes,
We
you
have,
don't have to meet with the zoning board at the borough?
we have the zoning board, Kevin Gore, who's coming out to assess and making sure that we're following all the coordinates and everything, but zoning is already complete.
Okay, I didn't know if they knew about the situation with the water in the
Oh,
middle
yeah.
of the ford.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. They're out there with us the whole time and helping with making sure that we have the right solution that meets all the criteria that needs to be met for the borough and the township.
Okay.
Thank you, Mary. Tracy, I have a question in the chat. How many of the units will be handicapped accessible?
I think it is 6.
Okay. And I see Winters has their hand raised. Do you have a question?
No, I pressed that by mistake. I don't have a question. I'm just observing.
No
Yeah.
problem, dear. Thanks for attending. All right. Thank you, Tracy, so much for the update. We at the center, the board, the staff, we are working, staying in contact with Church Housing Corporation. They've answered questions when things come up, any concerns from the community. that is their website. There is where you can submit only on their website, but also our website where you can submit questions to Tracy, and we make sure that she gets back to everyone in a timely fashion. I do have 2 more questions. I apologize.
Yeah.
Will the handicap accessible units be apartments or townhouses? Good question, Peter.
They are in the apartments.
And all of the housing is income-based, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Miss Donna Thomas, is your hand raised? Do you have a question there?
Yes, I do have a question. My question is now, what is gonna happen with the playground for the community?
We have an update for you. It's coming. Our executive director has a wonderful update on the playground shortly, okay?
Okay,
All right, dear. Tracy, thank you so much for attending and giving us an update on the housing program.
Yeah, and again, if anybody wants to chat about it, definitely give me a call or send me an email.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure.
All right, so next we will hear from, where is he? I don't see, oh, there he is. Our executive director, Ken Winston. Ken has been with the center for 11 years. He started his tenure as a volunteer, and he hasn't left us yet. Ken has been amazing as far as reaching the community. I call him my hustle man. He gets out there and he just draws people in to volunteer and really help out. So it's a pleasure for me and an honor to work with him. I'll turn it over to you, Ken. You're muted, Ken. I can hear you now.
Okay. So thank you, Miss Debbie Bookman. I was saying I see some friends and some donors and some staff. I even see a couple children. And it's very exciting. When Debbie was reading the amount of staff that we had, I was thinking back to December 11th in the wintertime, and I walked in the building. I happened to be in Westchester. My intentions was not to come to the Westchester Community Center, which I had known it to be. I didn't even know that it was called the Charles A. Milton Center in 2011. I always called it the Westchester Community Center, and I still do sometimes. But and then when she was reading the staff, I remember walking in and Renee was here by herself, and the building was in, the building was in bad shape, and obviously there was only a half a staff. So programmatically and staffing was, so I saw that as an opportunity, not a problem. I asked who the board president was, and she told me Lisa Dorsey, and I have her number memorized today, her cell phone. And I called Lisa Dorsey in January. We set up a meeting, and I started volunteering, and I prayed for everything, and I didn't worry about anything. And here we are today. And I really do get touched when talking about the Milton Center. If you see in my name, it says Westchester. The Phoenixville people are like, "Oh, you're from Westchester now," and that's a compliment. So I'm just really honored to be able to give an update on 3 areas: our programs, our building and grounds, and our upcoming events. I will actually lead with Ms. Donna Thomas's question, the exciting playground. And I have a story about that. I won't be long, but there's a 7-year-old girl across the street when we knocked the playground down because it was dangerous, and Kevin Gore said it has to come down. And so we knocked down the 2 playgrounds. I didn't know how we were going to get a new one, but again, worry about nothing, pray for everything, right? So as a part of the housing, we got a $30,000 set aside fund to allow us to build a new playground, which is right next to the pool. We are not touching the pool area. That area is there as a phantom pool. That one day that there will be a pool. A pool to me is like, you had your Thanksgiving dinner, you got your sweet potatoes, and the pool was like the sweet potato pie at the end. And like what we're doing is building something that's sustainable and something that'll last. And I always thought that the pool would be something that would be like the dessert at the end. And I believe that donors and supporters see us do positive things like the things that I'm getting ready to report, and they'll be like, you're worthy of a pool. The community needs it. So if it's meant to be, don't worry about it. Pray for it, right? So, so our first thing is the playground construction will start on May 28th. So we'll be building the playground on May 28th. It's a good thing that we paid for it ahead of time because the prices just went up because of COVID and the materials are short. So we're locked in at the price that we got it for. Otherwise, we'd almost have to pay almost double. So the playground will be in, I will say, by the middle of June. And there's a little girl across the street named Sanaya. And when I knocked that pool down, she stomped her foot and she said, "Why'd you knock down our playground?" And I promised her that we would have a new playground. So she will be cutting the ribbon to the new playground. I also, so that's pretty much the playground. Simultaneously, Jamie, our New Directions director, will be talking about the new garden, which will be happening simultaneous. So like, how exciting is that? New playground, new garden. But our garden will be going also right in the area where the pool is, right next to the pool. So both things will be on the side of the pool. We will leave the pool area there. The other updates are, if you have any questions about the playground or the garden, you can ask me when I'm done with my update. Despite COVID, we've been able to pull off some pretty amazing things. We have some pretty amazing people. We've been delivering food in some of the East End area through the YMCA and the Food Cupboard. We have two volunteers, Maria and Liz, that have been delivering food out of their cars. They don't get a stipend or anything, and they've been delivering food to Union Court. They've been delivering food to Locust Court. They've been delivering food to all the different places on the East End that need it the most. We also have started during the COVID, we had to shut down our recovery meetings, which I feel are a very important part of what we do. But in July, we started our recovery meetings back. That's AA and NA. So we've been having those meetings daily. And I think that's a great service to the community. But during the Black Lives Matter, I got a call from Irv Freelander and PJ Charlton about starting an organization called Mentoring Our Black and Brown Youth. The Times called for it, and I called Mr. Dr. Corey Bell first, and we started getting referrals from the district. So we meet with these young men that are referred from East Henderson and Ruston every other week. We may increase that ratio. So far, they've went horseback riding, they've played chess. Not only did they play chess, but they also get chess boards. They've went fishing, and they also get fishing poles. We did a horseback riding, and they even talked me to getting on a horse. I was scared to death, but I did it because they challenged me. The kids challenged me. These boys are in 9th or 10th grade, and we've also had speakers. Some of the speakers are Frida Maddox, Josh Lee, Corporal Lee, Corporal Josh Lee, the police officer in Westchester's Police Department. We've had Evan, our board member, who is a bank manager, come in and talk to him about finances. We've done time management classes, and we've also will be working on check balancing and things like that. All the stuff that I feel that I needed to learn growing up as a young man. So that's pretty much our programmatic things that we've been doing despite COVID. Obviously, we've been safe. We wear our masks, we do temperature taking, and we do 6 feet apart. I again see COVID as an opportunity to serve more. We had to certainly flip our mission, but I think considering the circumstances, we've been doing well. One of the things that that really gets me excited is the changes to the building. Everybody knows we got a new gymnasium in 217, and our auditorium has been redone. But most recently, we through the donation of Westminster Church, we put in our microphones that I believe they're using in the auditorium now, a remote control screen where we'll be able to show movies, which I'll be talking about that also. And also we put in Yamaha speakers, the best equipment that we purchased from a local vendor named Taylor Music. So in the past, when we had events, we had to rent out all the soundboard and all that. Now we can have, and I also want to say that every Saturday when I get here, that same Sanaya for the last 3 weeks comes in and plays the drums. And like, that's the highlight of my week. And we will allow her to play the drums with, obviously with supervision. And one day we might have a Sheila E. And get a donation. But anyway, so we also have installed a TV screen in the hallway. So when you come in, you can see what's happening at the center. You can see the schedule, something that I've always wanted. You can see the history of the center. There's a loop of all the activities that are going on at the center. If you walk around, you would have saw the virtual tour. It's pretty much like walking into a historical society because we have recognized our great women. I'm gonna say our great women first, and our great men of this building. So when you walk through, you'll see there's so many pictures honoring our past that we had to do a little virtual video tour because it was COVID. It was a good idea. Hopefully some of y'all saw that. If you didn't, go on our Facebook page. The other thing is we have summer basketball. I said that with a little more vigor because we've got our highest numbers we've had. However, this will be the first year where we can stop taking signups the day of the games because we need more players or because we are sympathetic to the people that signed up late. We can only take 150 and we're close to that right now. So we'll be a little more organized. We will be fencing in the entire property and people will be coming in 2 entrances, Minor Street and also Market Street. So we'll put a temporary fence. You'll have to take you'll have to be 6 feet apart. You have to bring your own lawn chairs. As you know, basketball will also have barbecue. We have a new barbecue guy coming from Downingtown. So if you want to grab a sandwich or a brisket or whatever, we're going to have that. And we'll also have music. That really gets me excited. It's almost like we're trying to build that into an annual Sunday event. And one day when we get enough funding and volunteers, we get a couple moon bounces and make it a party for kids to play. That's a goal. Upcoming events. We have Deb Bookman, our president, has hooked up with Revival Theater, and on June 18th and June 19th, we'll be featuring Ruby Bridges, who was the young lady that integrated schools. So we'll be doing our first play. We're looking in turning our theater into a play that some of our elder population and elder states, women and men, will be able to come and watch a play, possibly plays, what's the name, Deb? Plays of stories of African Americans exclusively. Nobody's doing that in the area. People's like some of it, but we would be exclusive plays in the evening for our elder population and our just adults, adult entertainment. And tie that in with our culinary school, which I'll talk about. Then we're also showing a play on May 20th outside, social distance, People's Light Theater. It's not a play, it's going to be a little musical, and it's going to be like a little introduction of a play about Bayard Rustin, and it's called Inside Ashland. And that will be outside. You will, please, if you're not on our Facebook page, you're missing out. You might miss something. We're looking into doing a bicycle giveaway this year. Last year, we gave away 50 bikes. I can go on, but I can open it up for questions or I can introduce our next person. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, I have one quick question. I heard everything that's on, and my name's Donna Thomas.
Donna?
Okay, but I didn't hear anything that's going, any kind of events or things that's coming up for the young ladies in the community.
Oh, thank you, Donnie. You segued again. I forgot. Okay, so Tamika, one of our new board members, when I first introduced Moby, obviously I'm facilitating Moby along with 2 other men. I don't feel comfortable facilitating a women's group, but I knew that some female would step up, and Lisa Dorsey was like, what about the girls? I knew it was coming, right? And so Tamika and Lisa Dorsey and some other women are getting together to start a female Moby group that will have to use the same curriculum. Our name is not gender, whatever, it's mentoring our Black and brown youth. And so our female, and I look for some of your family members, Miss Donna Thomas. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Go
Yep,
ahead.
yep. So yeah, and Donna, I know if you wanted to help out with that, which I know you will. And then obviously, you know, we have the dance team. Currently, we're looking for a dance instructor, but the dance team is still something that Jamie and I will be working on to collaborate. So without further ado, if there's no more questions, I'm going to leave a pause for that.
Okay, one more question. So when this events come up for the young ladies, we will be notified?
You will be the first one notified.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so without further ado, I would like to meet, again, somebody that just walked into the building and was just checking out the Milton Center. And she was, before I go, I do want to say a little bit about Filet of Soul. The reason why they can't be here is because they are delivering meals in Coatesville and Westchester, hot meals currently, and they already had that plan. So obviously, you know that we have a culinary school that started in 2017. Because of COVID, we don't have an active class, but we plan on having some type of culinary school starting soon. Lisa has delivered over 1,500 meals during COVID, hot meals, in Coatesville and Westchester through Maria Flight and also Liz Reed. So I just wanted to make sure that there's going to be a video coming up and she's going to have a couple words, but I just wanted to give her a due. I also wanted to thank Lisa Dorsey because without her having faith in me in 2009, 2010, 2011, my time is whatever, then I wouldn't be here. And maybe some people will be happy about that, but I know that I have a lot of supporters, and I just wanted to thank her for all the work and supporting me for all these years. So without further ado, I introduce you Jamie Atkins, who walked in one day as I did. And there's something about the Milton Center when you come in. There's something about the energy. People say it all the time. That's why a lot of times, you know, when I give somebody a tour, there's usually a check at the end of it. And we make sure that the money is counted and all that stuff. Jamie is somebody that has brought a lot of energy to the New Directions program. During COVID, she has faithfully, her and Brother Dan have faithfully been doing virtual. They come in twice a week, doing the best they can. So without further ado, please welcome Jamie Atkins.
All right, y'all, thank you. Just make sure everyone can hear me. Okay, thumbs up if so. Okay, cool. So it's nice to meet y'all. As Ken said, my name is Jamie Atkins. I'm the director of the New Directions program at the Milton Center. I know I've had a chance to meet many, if not most of y'all on this call and see some of our parents and grandparents of New Directions students. So everybody, thank you for being here and taking time out of your evening to hear our updates from the center. As Ken said, I got introduced to the Milton Center. I was an educator and a teacher in Philadelphia, but I'm originally from Westchester. And it was when I was staying home with my then probably 2-year-old daughter, she was probably 2.5 then, and drove by the Milton Center. And I've always kind of wondered what went on. I knew of the building, but I didn't know a lot about the programming. Reached out to Brad, who was running the New Directions program then, and I just immediately fell in love with the center, the mission, the history, our focus on social justice, and just this place that brings together people who really care about making the community a better place. So I'm very honored to be a part of this team and to be among all of you in the past 1.5 years that I've been there. So I'd like to just give you a quick overview about what we've been doing and what we're planning to do for the New Directions program and to support the students in our community through COVID and beyond. So if you're not familiar with New Directions, we are an after-school program for students in K through 6th grade. This year we're gone up to 7th grade because I can't say goodbye to my 6th graders. We're keeping them looped in. Typically the program pre-COVID meets every day at the center from 4 to 6 p.m. Monday through Thursday. And what we do is we pair local volunteers, mostly Westchester University students and outstanding local high school students. And we pair them with a group of 25 to 30 K to now 7th grade students for tutoring, mentoring, enrichment after school. So they help students one-on-one with their homework. They help them with reading and literacy skills. And we also do things like yoga and gardening and basketball, all kinds of experiential things to keep the kids active and learning. Many of the folks and people on this call, Dr. Bell helps me with recruiting volunteers who we call academic coaches to work with the students. Miss Donna, who had some questions, Donna would always be in there helping me with the kids, reading to them. So it's very much a community program, community-based program with families very much involved. So just really a wonderful and special program. When COVID happened, like so many other things, we unfortunately had to quickly pivot and figure out how we were going to continue to support the students through the real challenges that they and their families were facing because of the pandemic. So we pivoted our program to a virtual online format where we still continue to meet with the kids one-on-one and in small groups every day via Zoom. So we were able to give them that academic support, homework help, as well as the tutoring and mentoring, and really keep them connected with their peers as well online. But of course, we know that the virtual environment is important and is integral, but it can only go so far. So some other things that we did was we've been doing healthy snack drives so that we're able to distribute snacks to our students and their families. We've given out desks. So we had the local Sunrise Rotary Club made desks for our New Direction students to give them a place to learn from home. I am constantly ordering new books and distributing those to keep the kids engaged and excited about reading. We bring them into the center, especially if we find students who are having a hard time, bring them in for one-on-one mentoring and tutoring sessions. And we've also planned fun and engaging activities. So we brought them in for like an outdoor Halloween trunk or treat. We partnered with Limoncello and Bar Avalon for a holiday gift drive that we were able to expand to not just only our New Direction students, but other students in the community. During the summer, we did a virtual summer STEAM program, so science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Because we weren't able to safely hold the program in person, every single week we packed up bags of school supplies and science experiment supplies and had them available for kids to either pick up at the center, or I would go and drop them off to their houses. So although we were learning online and virtually, they were actually able to like get their hands dirty and do the science experiments from home because we were providing those materials to them. And then once the school year started, I tried my very best to be a resource to families and help to make sure that, you know, folks had internet connections, that parents were able to navigate all of the online portals and learning systems that they were thrust into having to figure out to support their students with online learning. And then we've just continued to provide from the first day of school, every single day on Zoom, we provide online tutoring. So that's the best way for me to able to safely make sure that our students are getting those connections that they need when I'm not able to bring 30 students and 30 volunteers into the building every day. Obviously, our first and foremost priority has been to keep everybody healthy during this pandemic while making sure that the kids are supported. So I think that I've been really proud of how well our students have been doing through such a challenging year. And we've been really honored to be a part of that. In addition to their tutoring, the small group clubs that we've been doing, we have a leaders club where we really talk to the students from K all the way through 7th grade about social justice issues. We talk to them about things happening in the community and the world. And we really try to help them develop their own voices as young leaders in their community and get a chance to where they can safely share their opinions about what they see happening around them. We also have a readers club. So for our younger students, we really focus on foundational reading skills and making sure that they are building the vocabulary and the sight words and the phonics and the comprehension skills that they need to be successful in school. And we also have a graphic novel club, which we're really excited about. So, you know, during this challenging year of virtual learning, what we've been trying to do is help kids really find the joy in reading and find things that they love to read. Because, you know, research shows that if kids are reading things that they like, that their skills are also going to improve and increase. So the kids have been really excited and engaged by the graphic novel club and learning about and reading about a lot of their favorite comic book heroes. And it's something where they sign on every single day and get to meet together as a special group and work with our literacy teacher, learning about graphic novels. So we feel really proud of our virtual program and how we've been able to safely continue to support our students. Really proud that almost every single student that we are working with in person has continued to stay with us, connected with us via our virtual program, or we've been able to support them with some of the other events that we've been doing. So kind of just want to let y'all know some things that are exciting that are coming up on the horizon. So we're working on our brand new community garden. We are moving the location of the garden because it was currently located where the new housing is being built. So actually we're going to break ground on the new garden this weekend. I have an amazing group of students from Westchester East High School who are coming out. Actually, almost all of the football team is coming out. They reached out wanting to support the center. So they're going to be helping us to mulch and dig and clean up sticks and prepare the garden area, as well as building our new garden beds that we will be planting later in May. Something I'm really excited about is I'm really making it a priority in partnership with Ken and Deb and Debbie and the rest of the team to put in a children's garden. So not only will we be growing fresh and healthy produce for the community, we're also going to be planting a butterfly garden. We're going to be planting a pizza garden. So in the butterfly garden, we'll have native pollinator-friendly plants that the kids will help us grow. In the pizza garden, we're going to grow tomatoes and basil and everything that the kids would need to put on their own pizza. So really trying to make things really hands-on and exciting. This summer, in spring and summer, I'm really looking forward to getting the students outside in the fresh air. As much as we've done virtual throughout the year, I want to get them away from their computer screens the best that we can over the summer and just let them to be outside playing on the new playground in the new children's garden, and just really being kids, which I think is what they need. Also over the summer, I am hoping that we can safely return to an in-person summer program now that many more folks have been vaccinated. I'm extremely cautious, so keeping a really close eye on COVID numbers and community spread to make sure that we can safely do that. But I feel fairly confident that in very small groups, if we have enough funding for adequate staff and support, that I can bring the kids in person as much as possible this summer outside for all of those activities, which we're really looking forward to. And once I have more information in terms of the dates and times of our summer program, then we'll be reaching out. Again, the program will be limited for safety reasons, but at the same time, we really want to make sure that we're supporting students who we know have gone through some pretty significant challenges for both their mental health and their learning this year. So I'm going to support their well-being as well as making sure that they're keeping their academic skills really strong and that we're able to help them kind of launch into next year in a really great place. And then my goal is for next year, we'll be starting New Directions in the first week of school again. And my fingers are crossed that we are in a much better place in this pandemic, that we'll be able to have our students back in person with us after school for next year, as well as also I think keeping the virtual program going strong, because we've learned some things, kind of as Ken says. Ken always tells me I'm the opposite of Ken, where I worry about everything, and Ken tells me don't worry, things are going to be okay and things aren't a problem, they're an opportunity. So something we've learned is that through the virtual program, we've actually been able to expand our reach. We've been able to start working with some students, even who live in Coatesville and who might not be able to come to the center every single day for services. We're able to work with them through the virtual program. So I think that we'll be able to keep that online tutoring strong and hopefully serve even more students while also bringing our students back in person. Checking my list to make sure I didn't miss anything that I wanted to share with y'all, but I think I covered most of what I had hoped to. So I'm more than happy to answer questions if anybody has any. And if not, I'll drop my email address in the chat. You're more than welcome to reach out to me at any time. Again, I already see so many of you on this call who are already supporters of New Direction. So I guess I would just like to say thank you so much for all of your support of the program and of the staff and of the center. And like I said, I'll put my email address in the chat box, and you can also find it on our website. So please feel free to reach out to me if you're ever interested in partnering, supporting, coming out and volunteering with the kids. We really thrive on our volunteers. Y'all are the ones who make it happen. So thank you so much. And I look forward to hearing the rest of the meeting and to seeing many of you soon.
Thank you, Jamie. And thank you, Ken. There's a lot going on at the Melton Center, and we should be really proud of the work that the staff is doing, that the board is helping to facilitate, to provide the resources for them to do it. I am just really excited to see, where we were, where we are, and where we're going. The future is so bright. And, at our fundraiser, we heard from some of the children that we serve in the community and their excitement, and to speak about how much the center means to them. And we want to continue that. We want to continue giving them a safe space, not only a safe space, but a safe space that they can call their own. As Ken mentioned, Lisa Morris, that provides and oversees the Foskey food culinary program here at the center, was unable to attend because she is delivering food. And I think Ken he mistakenly said that during the pandemic, Lisa had delivered 1,500 meals. I think it was actually 1,500 meals per week. So that is no easy task. And it was a much needed resource for people that had lost their jobs, were unable to feed their families, which is really important. And while we had to pivot from the culinary learning, we were able to provide food to the communities, both here in Westchester and in Coatesville. So Lisa left a video for us to watch. And this is, I believe, an excerpt from the fundraiser that we had. So Leslie, I'm going to turn it over to you to play that video. It's a short video, not very long. Leslie.
No audio.
Hi, my name is Lisa Morris, and I am the founder of Filet of Soul. I'm the executive director of Filet of Soul Culinary Institute, and I'm also the development consultant for the Melton Center. And my relationship with Melton began about 5 years ago. My husband and I opened a restaurant in Downingtown called Filet of Soul. And we really did that in order to do marketplace ministry. We were highly involved in our church, and we sort of wanted to get outside of the doors of the church and work alongside people in the community, provide second chance hiring opportunities, work with youth, and do a lot of charitable ventures. About 2017, I met Ken Winston, and Ken just did what Ken does. And he would come past the restaurant once a week, probably for a year, and just establish relationship, connection. And there's just something about Ken that my husband and I found really inspiring. And he began to kind of talk to me about thinking about moving our venture to the Melton Center. At the same time, my colleague Jill Swavely lived in Westchester, and she said, every time I drive past that center, I just feel like there's life there. And so in 2017, we actually closed our restaurant in Downingtown, and we moved here to the Melton Center and developed a partnership with Melton and the county, because there was a lady named Lila Singleton who worked for the county, and she was aware of the work that we were doing with difficult to place individuals, and she wanted us to do a program at the center. So we created Filet of Soul Culinary Institute in partnership with the county and with the Melton Center. And that first year, 2017 to 18, we employed and mentored and trained about 22 economically disadvantaged youth. We worked with them for resume building, workforce development, and we helped them get their Serve Safe training. They worked under the tutelage of a professional chef. We all know what happened in 2020 of March with the pandemic. And so we thought, well, how can we best pivot to serve our community? And so we started actually just providing charitable meals. Contacted Mayor Herron's office and said, do you know any place we could kind of give food away during this time? She connected us with the senior center, and we began giving meals away to individuals that had been serviced at the senior center, as well as individuals at the Denny Rayburn House, Church Street Towers. And so that pivot actually, allowed us to basically meet the mission of the Melton Center, which is to meet the unaddressed needs of marginalized populations, as well as our mission at Filet of Soul to impact and love individuals through food, employment, music, service, and outreach. We garnered a lot of support and a lot of traction from various agencies, and so we continued our partnership with Chester County Hospital, providing literature along with the meals. We also partnered with the Department of Environmental Protection, who provided us about $60,000 to buy additional equipment so we could pump out these meals. We got donations to expand our kitchen, and in addition, we partnered with Brandywine Health Foundation and CHOP to help fund these charitable meals. We expanded our reach with these meals, and we are servicing currently individuals in Coatesville as well as in Westchester. And right now, it's interesting the timing of this fundraiser, because we actually have been doing this for a year, and we have exceeded 10,000 meals that we have given to the community. And so we're really proud of that. And it's just, for me, it's just an honor and a privilege not only to be able to give charitable meals away, but to be able to employ youth. We had a summer internship program with these youth, and to pay a living wage. And I have to say that is key for me.
My name is Malay Kali. I am a high school student at Collegium Charter School, and I'm graduating June 9, 2021. I work here at the Melton Center at FOSSI. We serve food, we help the community, we bring hope, joy, and love. We don't judge people, we're open, and we just bring people in and just with love and care. And yeah, my favorite thing is to help people out, to put a smile on people, to feel comfortable and welcome and not afraid. And like, as a Christian, the Bible, God speaks about we should love our neighbor and bring joy and bring the poor people in, and that's what we do in the Melton Center.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Reed, and I'm a volunteer at the Charles A. Melton Center.
And my name is Maria Flife. I'm also a volunteer at the Charles A. Melton Center.
Since the pandemic started, we actually been going around and giving out groceries to family. And now we are associated with the Cupboard Board, and we have 36 families that we serve.
We pick up and deliver from the food cupboard, as Elizabeth had stated, and we go all over Chester County areas. We take care of Modern Living Apartments, Union Court, and on the outskirts of Westchester.
It's important because people are really starving. When we come to deliver the food, you see the happy faces and you see people are they're just so happy and thankful.
For me personally, like so many people, my parents frequented this center. My father grew up in Westchester. He's 85 years old. He actually has helped us renovate the kitchen. But I came here, as a little girl, like so many people. We lived on Bernard Street for the first few years of my life. I swam in that pool. And the Melton Center means a lot because there's a lot of history. And there is, I think, the potential and ability for the Melton Center to remind people of that history that can often just get, sort of whitewashed and swept under the rug. So for me, the Melton Center is community. Hi, my name is Lisa Morris.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Lisa, for sharing that. So in a nutshell, that's pretty much what we've been doing here at the center. And our goal is to continue making these programs and activities viable and just developing them and really trying to meet the needs, the immediate needs of the community. What we needed in our communities in 2019, 2020 has changed that forever. So at the center, what we're trying to do is to find out what those needs are. Obviously, we have Filet of Soul that's been helping with the food, and we have the center with the education, we have the recreation with the basketball, the mentoring groups that are very important, not just for our Black young men, Black and brown young men, but also our Black and brown young women. We have challenges and, it's the social, emotional well-being of our kids and our community is paramount. That is something that I would really like to bring to the center, that mental health piece, not because you have a diagnosis, but that you've just been hit a curveball that you weren't prepared. None of us were prepared for COVID, right? And our lives are forever changed. For us, some of us that have been, ostracized from family members, not being able to go to school, and kids need routine. Even adults, we need routines. And if it's hard for us, just imagine what it's done to these children. So that is why we must continue the work that we're doing here at the center. So that's where we're going. We're building, literally and figuratively, right? We are the Charles A. Melton Arts and Education Center. Arts is very near and dear to me. When I was growing up, I wanted to be a singer and an actress. That's it. I wanted to be Beyonce and, I wanted to be on TV telling jokes like Steve Harvey, and well, that didn't work out, right? But I was blessed because I'm here, and there's a reason why I'm here. And so I'm working really hard to bring the arts to the Melton Center. We are going to turn that auditorium into a true Black box theater so that we can have a show and dinner. Just walk out of your door, come across the street, that's a Saturday night, that's a Friday night for everybody, very inclusive. But one thing that I think is important for us to emphasize is our history. The one thing that really pulled me into the center was learning of the history of the center, which is very rich and, too often untold. So I want to make sure that we educate our kids that they can tell our history and their history. If you know who you are and where you're from, you'll know where you're going. I can't thank everyone enough for joining us this evening. When the Zoom opened up and I saw all the faces, I'm like, wow, okay. I was just hoping that we had 10 people show up. It's really important that the community knows that we are a hidden gem, but we're here and we're here to stay. We're not going anywhere. And again, I just really would like to thank the board. I would like to thank our staff, our donors, our volunteers, and everyone that continues to support the center. It really means a lot. The future is very bright, and I am here for the long ride, and I'm looking forward to it. I set this meeting for an hour and a half, thinking that we would have a lot of questions, but I think you guys just wanted to sit back and let it soak in. Please visit our website. Our communications manager has done an amazing transformation with that website. There's so much information on there. It's updated constantly. There is a volunteer sign up, and there's a donation button, right? Want to donate, again, we're not in the business of making money, but we do need money to sustain the programs that we have. So if there are no more questions, comments, recipes, I'm always looking for a good Weight Watchers recipe. Okay, so I just want to thank everyone for taking the time out to meet with us today. And my goal is to have community updates on a quarterly basis. It's important that the community is kept abreast of what's happening. And please share it with your friends, tell your friends, check out the Melton Center Facebook page, or just stop by. We have staff now, so people can come in, ask questions, all right? Thank you everyone so much. I appreciate you, and have a good evening.